The following video will explore the topic of land use and land use change, often abbreviated as LOLUCF. By the end of this module, we aim to instill a heightened sense of environmental awareness, encouraging all participants to recognize the profound impact of human activities on our planet and to prioritize sustainable land management practices. The expected learning outcomes of the module is developing an awareness of the carbon, being able to explain why it's regarded as a net carbon source due to CO2 emissions from grassland and wetlands, while recognizing forest land and harvested wood products as carbon sinks. European Green Deal is a renewed EU initiative to achieve the UN 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals globally. It involves scaling up support for climate change mitigation and adaptation measures, including renewable energy development, emphasizing the urgent need for action. Additionally, the Green Deal entails refocusing the European semester process to prioritize sustainability, citizen well-being, and the integration of sustainable development goals into EU policymaking and action. Climate action, clean energy, sustainable industry are some of the main elements of the EU Green Deal. Among all these elements of the EU Green Deal, we chose some to define which are more relevant to our project's approach. The EU Green Deal aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030 compared to 1990 levels, with the ultimate goal of reaching climate neutrality by 2050. To ensure the alignment of all EU policies with these targets, the European Commission is reviewing key legislation, such as the Renewable Energy Directive, Energy Efficiency Directive, Emissions Trading System, and more, under the Fit for 55 packages exercise. This comprehensive process is intended to be effective by 2023, aligning national energy and climate plans with the new climate ambition. By stepping up its action and leading by example, the EU strives to become climate neutral and contribute to the global effort to limit global temperature increase to well below 2 degrees Celsius and pursue efforts to keep it to 1.5 degrees Celsius in line with the Paris Agreement. Energy production and usage account for over 75% of the EU's emissions. The EU is tackling its emissions by focusing on clean energy. The clean energy policy aims to develop a renewable-based power sector and create a connected EU energy market. The offshore renewable energy strategy seeks significant investments to expand offshore wind and ocean capacity. The EU hydrogen strategy promotes clean hydrogen innovation and aims for substantial electrolysis capacity. The Clean Energy for All Europeans package facilitates energy system integration, while a proposed revision of the TENI regulation supports renewable energy adoption. These initiatives pave the way for a decarbonized EU energy system. Currently, the EU Green Deal addresses the 20% contribution of industry to the EU's emissions through decarbonization efforts. The Circular Economy Action Plan focuses on extending product lifespan and implementing a sustainable products policy for improved reusability and recycling. The EU Industrial Strategy aims to develop markets for climate-neutral and circular products while promoting digitalization. Measures are proposed to enhance the sustainability of battery supply chains and improve recycling practices. These initiatives underscore the EU's commitment to sustainable industry practices and a greener future. Sustainable mobility. The focus of this slide is the EU's Sustainable Mobility Policy area, which aims to reduce transport emissions that contribute to 25% of the EU's greenhouse gas emissions. The EU Commission plans to revise the TEN-T regulation and the Directive on Intelligent Transport Systems to promote zero-emission vehicles, sustainable solutions, and digitalization and automation. These initiatives and legislative revisions demonstrate the EU's commitment to sustainable and smart mobility solutions for a greener future. For sustainable and smart mobility sets ambitious targets for the EU transport sector, aiming for a 90% emissions reduction by 2050. These targets include the deployment of zero-emission cars, climate neutrality in cities, increased high-speed rail traffic, carbon neutrality for short-distance travel, automated mobility, and zero-emission marine vessels. Revised legislation is being considered to support these objectives, such as the review of alternative fuel infrastructure and CO2 emission performance standards. These measures align with the EU's commitment to sustainable and smart mobility for a greener future. The EU Forest Strategy emphasizes sustainable forest management and addresses topics such as competitiveness, job creation, forest protection, and the delivery of ecosystem services. It identifies key objectives for 2020, including the need for sustainable forest management practices, balancing forest functions, and promoting competitiveness in the forest-based value chain. The strategy outlines 8 priority areas, including supporting communities, fostering competitiveness and sustainability, addressing climate change, protecting forests, improving knowledge, and promoting global cooperation in forest management. These objectives and priorities demonstrate the EU's commitment to sustainable forest practices and the vital role of forests in various societal and economic aspects.